Good evening everyone and welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's now only a matter of weeks before the end of the year and the start of a new chapter in your child's life. We are really looking forward to welcoming you all to be part of our school community and part of something really special. I'm Catherine Aitchison, Head Teacher, and with me this evening is Damien Thurston, who's Deputy Head Teacher and Transition Lead with overall responsibility for culture within the school. Although not here tonight, they're a team of people to support your child, and along with your child's tutor, the staff you will have most contact with will be Mr. Gartside, who's Deputy Head Teacher with responsibility for curriculum, Mr. Williams, who oversees Key Stage 3, so that's all students in Year 7, 8 and 9, Miss Richardson, who's Assistant Head of Key Stage and has some responsibility for transition, and Mrs. Wakefield, who's Head of Year 7 and is somebody who will be your first point of contact as your child moves into the school. Your child is going to be joining our school at a really exciting time. We've been working really hard to ensure your child has the best possible experience. A brand new building is due for completion in time for September 2021, which comprises of 22 new classrooms, a new activity studio, specialist IT and art rooms, and a brand new food room. Alongside this, we've been working on a great curriculum for our Year 7 students. Part of this is the real life curriculum, which groups of students have already opted to take part in next year. We're excited about what lays ahead. We're currently a school of 1,370 students with 150 students in our thriving sixth form where numbers are growing year on year. We help our students to become the best versions of themselves through affording them the opportunities to take part in both academic and extracurricular activities which develop their skills. The last year has been nothing like we could have imagined in schools. We've had to learn to operate very differently, and whilst it's been challenging, there have been lots of great things to come from some of the changes we've needed to make. Our vision is simple. It's about ensuring that every student is the best that they can be. At Counterstop Academy, we're all learners. We practice and embed our core values of showing respect, developing resilience and achieving success. And we do this through providing high quality learning opportunities, being a research informed school, delivering a real life or innovative curriculum. We have really high expectations of our students. We're aspirational for our community. We recognise success in our students and we develop leadership. Our core values really sit at the heart of our school, and they are things that are really, really vital to us. We want everyone in our school community to show respect through the way they act. Our students show the most amazing acts of kindness towards each other and in making contributions to the local community through voluntary work and other projects. Through the work they do, we want them to build resilience, and we're parts of a Roots to Resilience programme which support our students in this, and this focuses on developing what we call character muscles. This is a focus in lessons and more widely across our curriculum. We also teach our students here that success comes in many forms, and we recognise and reward students who work hard and show determination and perseverance. We are really proud of the progress we've made in the last 18 months. As well as improved academic performance at both GCSE and A-level, we've developed our curriculum offer so it really reflects the skills students now need in an ever-changing world. We've also made excellent progress in creating a positive culture in school through working with staff, students and parents to put in place systems the students believe in and want to be part of. We want our students to love being at Countersthorpe and be proud members of our community. We've recently achieved the Inclusion Quality Mark. We're only the third school in Leicestershire to do this, and this is an external award following the hard work we've carried out working with different groups of students, staff and parents to make changes for the better. We're particularly proud about the work we did over lockdown, not only with our online learning provision, for which we received lots of positive praise, but we also did lots of outreach work in the community, visiting our students and their families to ensure they all had the help and support they needed, and we did whatever we could to help. So a little bit about tonight then. So the purpose of tonight really is threefold. First of all, for you to learn a little bit more about the school and what might lay ahead. I've already introduced some of the people, and Mr. Thurston will talk a little bit more about some of the people who your child will most be with, and also to find out most importantly about the induction process which will take place in the next few weeks. We are really aware the transition to secondary school at any time is challenging, it's worrying, and lots of things that come with that. Particularly at this point, given what we've been through in the last 18 months, we know that it is a particularly worrying time. And some of the things that we will help to address are some of the things that are on that slide there. So how can you help to prepare your child for a smooth transition? Things about transport if you've got questions, who will inform you of protocols and procedures at the school, who would be your main point of contact, how can you stay connected with what's happening, and what are the best channels of communication to stay connected. We know they are just a few of the questions you may have, and hopefully tonight we'll address some of those. But anything that you have, any questions or queries about, please feel free to contact the school. There are a team of people here to help, and we want to make sure that that transition programme is as smooth as it possibly can be. We very much believe that our recipe for success not only lies in our core values, but a really simple message to students in that we want them to be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And that's something which we share from day one with our students, and which most of our students can recite back to us, because we feel that is really important. If they're doing the right thing in the right place and they're on time, then really that is the start for everything that we will need. Talking a little bit more about school support, I've introduced you already to some of the key people that you would need to make contact with, but the leadership team obviously sit at the top of that, and you've already been introduced to some of those people. And then we've got our pastoral team, which is made up of our tutors, our heads of year and our heads of key stage, and they are people who you will probably in the first instance have lots of contact with. The tutor is the person who sees your child every day. They are the people who will check in with them. They are the people who will notice when things are going well and when things are not going as well. And they should be your first point of contact if you've got any concerns. In addition to which, obviously unlike primary school where students are with their same teacher all day, students will be moving from one lesson to another, so they will have a variety of subject teachers, and you are more than welcome to get in touch with their subject teachers as well. So we have support from subject teachers, from our teaching and learning team, from our support staff, and from our heads of faculty. And of course, the other really important part of the school is the administrative support, because students need help with the most basic things like, how do they pay for their lunch? Where do they go at certain times? So we do have a team of people, our administrative team and our support team, who will work with students and help them with all of that. We have a wide-ranging and challenging curriculum, so students get to experience lots of choice of subjects. We build into our teaching the opportunity for students to develop a range of skills, and in particular those relating to independent thinking, problem solving and resilience, and those character muscles as part of our Roots to Resilience programme. We track the progress of our students through classwork, homework and formal and informal testing, and you will receive regular progress reports which explains the progress of your child both academically as well as levels of effort we are seeing. Students who do the right thing will be well recognised. We have a rewards policy in place to make things better for our students, and there will be more information that we will share with students on how that works at the start of the year. Our behaviour policy is clear and ties in with our core values. As I've just said, we want our students in the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing. It sits at the heart of our core value of respect. Our rules are reasonable and we expect students to follow them. There is, we know, a really clear correlation between success and good attendance, which is why we set our students a target of 100% attendance. Being in school is vital to success. And we know and understand that all students develop illnesses at some time, but there must be a really good reason for students not to attend. We need them in school so that we can work with them. And what is your role as a parent in all of this? Well, part of what we want is to work really closely with our parents. You are a group of people who will make a massive difference for us. So as well as supporting your child, encouraging them and listening to them, we want you to be able to feel that at any time you can contact the school if you've got any concerns or if you've got any questions. And there are a number of ways in which you can do that. You will be receiving a handbook from us, and all of that information will be set out in there as to how you would do that. You may or may not be aware that we're part of a group of schools, which is the Life Multi-Academy Trust, and that comprises of Bosworth Academy, the Winstanley School, Kingsway Primary School, Braunston Frith, ourselves, and most recently Ashby School has joined as well. So we've got a really brilliant group of schools in the trust, and that is fabulous for us because it means that we can work together to make things better. Our future is really bright. We became part of Life Mat in April 2020. Being part of this means there are lots of opportunities to take part in exciting projects, genuine collaboration and targeted support. We're on a really exciting journey and your child will be part of our success. Thank you again for your time, and we're already looking forward to meeting you all in person as soon as we're able to do so. I'm going to hand you over now to Damien Thurston, who will share with you the plans for the coming weeks.
Hello, thanks Mrs Aitchison. So as Mrs Aitchison said, I'm Damien Thurston. I'm Deputy Head Teacher here at Counterstop, and I've had oversight of transition probably for the last 5 years. It's one of my favourite jobs, and I'm really looking forward to getting to see you and the children as they move up to us and be with us probably for the next 5 to 7 years. So let's get started then. So our aim, well my aim in particular for this evening, is to provide you with 3 things. I'd like to give you some reassurance. I know as a parent how daunting it can be, especially for your first child going to secondary school, and how worried you might be about them moving to a big school, but also about the fact that when they leave us, they'll be leaving to either go to a job, to an apprenticeship, to university. They're going to go from us into the big wide world. To give you as parents and carers some information, but also to explain some tasks that I've got for you. And when I say for you, I mean both you Year 6 children and also you mums and dads, parents and carers. You've got some homework as well. I am equally horrible to everybody. Now when you think about coming to secondary school, you'll probably be thinking about just that first year, what it's going to be like. But really we think about it in terms of a 5 to 7 year programme. And as you can see, we map that out in terms of what we expect them to do and what we hope for them to achieve, so that when they leave us, whether that's at the end of year 11 or at the end of year 13, they leave us strong, confident young people ready for the world outside. So let's have a quick look really in more detail about where we are currently. So if we zoom in here, you can see in a bit more detail what's on the slide, in the previous slide. Now obviously due to the coronavirus we weren't able to run an open evening for you, but many of you came and had a tour of the school, and lots of you came and saw the school with me. You applied to us, and now we are at that point of SATs. Now I know SATs aren't taking place, but I am also aware that lots of the primary schools are running their own testing at this moment in time, so if you're still doing those, good luck everyone. You are now attending the transition evening. It then talks about completion of the best of me, and I'll talk about that and some of the tasks in a little while. Then it says attend step up to secondary school days. So that's our transition days. They're going to take place on Tuesday the 29th and Wednesday the 30th of June. I'll go into more detail about that in a moment. And then that's when we move into to year 7, where we do some more work about you making new friends, embracing the college values and so on. So let's have a bit more closer look at what's going to happen really. So the next big thing that's going to happen is that myself or Mr. Williams, Mrs. Wakefield or Miss Richardson will come and visit the primary schools. This year we're dealing with just over, I think it's 12 primary schools we've got. I'm definitely coming up to 3 of them, and that will be in the first week back. But we will be coming as soon as possible, and when we come we'll be giving some more information to the young people and an envelope to take home. If we don't get to your primary school because there's only 1 or 2 of you coming from there, we will still be in touch. Don't worry, we're not going to forget about you. Now the transition days, as I said, will normally be on the 29th and 30th of June. Current government guidance says that we can run a transition day, however, the children must remain in the current bubbles they are in. So for example, if your child is in a class bubble, it has to remain in the class bubble here at Counterstop. Now under normal circumstances we'd have children mixing from different primary schools, getting to know each other. We'd do some making new friends activities just as part of our normal transition experience. Unfortunately we're not able to do that this year. However, we are committed to getting as many of you in as we possibly can, even if it's just for a couple of hours. So bear with us and we'll hopefully get some more information out to you probably just after half term about that. Tutor groups always is an interesting point, and we get asked lots of questions. What we have to make sure we do is, first of all, we have to have a balance of boys and girls in each tutor group, so it reflects the year. We also have to make sure we have a range of abilities in the tutor group. And in addition to which, this year, obviously, we've got the real life curriculum, and it's been fabulous to see so many of you apply for that. We will be in touch, hopefully the end of this week, with who's been successful in that. And from that afterwards, we will then sort out the rest of our tutor groups. We also work very close with the primary schools, and we take their advice really carefully. And they will advise us who works well with each other and who may be the really best of friends, but maybe not be the best combination together in the classroom. And it is about being in the right classroom with the right people to make sure that we make the right progress. So it could well be that you are the very best of friends, but the advice has been they work better when they're not together. A bit like myself and my best friend, we were never allowed to sit next to each other in the same class. The irony of it is that he's now a head teacher and I'm a deputy head teacher. So do bear with us. We are looking at the best outcomes for your children at the end of 5 years or 7 years time. I'll explain a bit more about the school day in a moment and about the summer school. So the school day itself. So as you see here, registration is at 8:45, and by that I mean that you need to be sat down in your seat at 8:45. We do shut the gates at 8:45, and we are quite prompt about that. And that's because, as members of the senior leadership team, we're all out there, we're in our yellow high-vis jackets so you can identify us, but at 8:45 we might be going to do an assembly or going to speak to some of the people, and it's not very good if we're late when we're going to talk to them about punctuality. So please make sure that your child arrives in time to be sat down for 8:45. 9 o'clock they go to lesson 1, and at 10 o'clock they have a break. We then have 2 more lessons, lessons 2 and 3, and then lunch is at 12:25. Lesson 4 and 5 then are from 1 until 3 p.m. School doesn't finish at 3 p.m, that's just a lesson time. There's lots of other activities that can happen after 3 p.m, whether that's sports clubs, drama, music, craft, there's science, and a homework club as well. So there's all different things that happen, and more details will come out as the academic year begins. This year the government have provided with funding to run a summer school. We will be running our summer school on the week commencing the 16th of August, which I know sounds really early, but that's just a week before we go back to school. It's open to all Year 7 students who are coming to Counterstop Academy, and it's going to be focused on 3 things: well-being and building confidence about coming into secondary school, writing and maths, so that's the academic side of it as well. We're finalising our plans for that, and again that information will be sent out to you just after half term if you would like to have a place. I mentioned earlier about some work and some homework that I'm going to be setting. So first of all, why do we do it? Well, we do it because it maintains the good study habits that you've already got into, and obviously what we don't want is over the 6 weeks holiday you to get out of those habits, because actually we want you to hit the ground running. So that means there's no loss of time for us. And we know, because we've been doing this now for the last 4 or 5 years, that students who do this make exceptional progress. And finally, it's not that much really. What I'm asking you to do is three things. So the 3 things that I'm asking you to do is complete this best of me. So that's just to give your tutors some more information about you. So whether you have a pet, what's your favourite sport, what do you like to eat, so we know a bit more about you, the person, rather than just you as you are this student with this disability. We want to get to know you. There's some reading tasks, and reading is so important. We carry that on into throughout secondary school. We know that students who read regularly do better at GCSE. They understand the questions better, they're able to write better answers, so we carry this through, and we've reduced this down slightly this year. So what we're saying is the minimum, right? So this is the minimum. It's 3 books or stories and 2 newspaper articles that you have to have read. So you can carry on reading the books you're reading currently at school. Your primary schools now, they're absolutely fine. You don't need to buy anything separate or do anything different. But the workbook attached to it will involve you doing 2 activities for each book and each newspaper article. And that's been planned in conjunction with the deputy heads from Blaby Stokes, Thistley and Greenfield. So we've made sure that it's pitched at the right level so it moves really nicely from Year 6 into Year 7. And finally for maths, all we're asking you to do is make sure you know your times tables. Backwards, forwards, inside out and round and round. They are so important, particularly when you get to GCSE, that if you can do those simple calculations really quickly in your head, it will make the world of difference to your GCSE maths and the amount of time you've got on the harder questions coming through. And as you can see, that's due on the 25th of August. That's your first day back at school. This year we've looked really carefully at our uniform. We've become an academy and we've spoken really carefully with parents and students and governors about what the uniform should look like. We are making a change this year and we're moving to a black blazer, so we're not having a jumper anymore. Year 7 students are going to be wearing a black blazer, the usual grey trousers and skirt, the tie, the shirts and so on. We've changed our suppliers this year. We're moving to List Sport, which are based out in Newbold Heath. There's a link to a pack that you can buy from them. So you can see there you can either buy things separately or you can buy a pack. If you buy the pack, it is cheaper, and as a school we are providing the tie for free. I will put that information for you in the chat as well, and we'll send that information out in the ways for you as well to get hold of. And finally, I did talk about homework for parents as well. So first bit of homework for you as parents and carers. When I go out to the primary schools, we'll be giving your children a large envelope that's got the transition work in, the homework in, but also has some work in there for you. So you'll have a pack, an information pack about the school. It will also have a pack of information, just the things to think about and to talk to your children about moving to secondary school to get them through any worries that they may have, they might ask you about. Next, can I say a huge thank you to the vast majority of you that have completed your data sheets and sent them in. It makes the world of difference to us at our end, making sure we've got things in the right place so we can hit the ground running. If you've not completed it, can you send it in to us ASAP? If you've mislaid it for any reason, please don't worry, just let us know and we'll send some more out to you. And lastly, support your child's transition. As I said, I know it's a worrying time for everybody in the first instance, so keep in touch with us. Make sure we're aware of any issues, any changes, whether you're moving house or change of phone number, email address, something you think we should know about, please send it in on transition@clcc.college. We do check that every day, so we're aware of anything and we can get back to you if we need to straight away. So that's it from me. Thank you ever so much for listening to us, and we really look forward to seeing you soon. Take care and have a lovely half term. Bye bye.